Mason444, thanks for letting me know. Huh. We're back again, never mind. Okay. Let me see if I can do something about the connection first before I keep going on this. I can still see what you guys are... Like, I can still see you in chat, so... Let me see if there's anything I can do. Flip the camera around so you don't have to look at my finger. Oh wow, okay, yeah. How's it looking, you guys? Looks good? Okay. Sorry, earlier when I had a connection timeout, I rebooted the phone, and when I did that, it put the max bitrate at like 4,000, so it was trying to just pull way higher than this phone can keep up with. Okay, so we're good. I don't know how much you guys saw of me pulling out this cache, but I'll sort of show you where it was. So this is the cache. This is what people meant when they said it was a cool mix of nature and technology. It's a film canister with a log in it attached to a twig with some twine. So, it was basically inside the underside of this bench, which is kind of cool because a bunch of people eat lunch here every day and they don't know. And there are a lot of muggles walking by. This has got to look strange. But it's on a long enough twig that you can tuck it pretty far underneath the bench and people, well, they'll either find it or they won't. So yeah, a lot of DNFs logged on this one. It's pretty crafty. So here we are under the bench again. And you can see there's just like a little bit of this twig sticking out. You have to know what to look for it to look out of place, I think. Okay. All right. So how's the Sinfire 2015? Audio is back, I think. Let me know how the stream's looking. Sorry about these connection issues today. Did I sign the log? I didn't sign the log because this is one that I have found. I found it a couple months ago. I just wanted to show you guys because this is one that I think up until the letterbox cache, I would have said was the most difficult I had found. So, here's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I didn't need to sign the log again because I had signed it last time I found it. There is a multi-cache in this area. I'm wondering if we should go find it. So multi-caches, like there are a couple of caches in the series to be able to log it as found. This one will require a little bit of work, but yesterday's cache also required a fair amount of work. And it was found pretty recently too. Interesting. So, it's not too far from here. It starts off at a panda sculpture, and there are questions about the panda sculpture that the answers are going to be numbers, and those numbers are going to comprise the coordinates that you insert into your phone or your GPS tracker. Way back when I first started caching, when you were using a Garmin GPS tracker to find all your caches. So you input those coordinates, those numbers into the final coordinates, and then navigate to the cache from there. Do I play any video games? I do not. No. Yeah, I've never played any video games. I played Wii once, like Wii Sport. And my friend Ken, who's actually the moderator, plays a lot of old school RuneScape. So he set me up with an account. So I have played old school RuneScape, but not actively. What I'm doing right now, being outdoors, this is my jam. Okay, so I'm looking through some of these questions. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, like, I didn't play it when I was a kid, so I'm like really new to it. I do know there's a mobile version now. Yeah, Ken has talked a lot about it, and I think he has it. I haven't downloaded it. So yeah, I'm looking at these questions for this multicache. Maybe I can be best prepared when I actually walk up to where this bear is. Maybe we can at least get the coordinates for the next cache today. That'd be pretty cool. So we need to find out how many bridges are on the panda statue. Ken, my moderator, yeah, he geocaches with me. He comes out on a lot of the streams. I don't know if he's probably not in chat yet, but his name is Metaped. The list of artists on one of the paws. Count the number of letters in the last name of the first artist listed. Okay. The number of crescent moons on the panda, multiplied by 3, and add 1. Yeah, if you ask Nightbot the number of caches I've found, ! Cache count in the chat, Nightbot will tell you. And then on my actual geocaching account, it has a list of like the actual titles and their coordinates. And actually, like what I'm trying to do right now, as far as geocaching goals, is I'm trying to do, I think I learned it was called the Fizzy. So there are different ways you can approach geocaching when it comes to like any goals that you have. I want to find all of the different 81 combinations of difficulty over terrain. There are 81 combinations. They also call it the Fizzy Grid or the Fizzy Challenge. So that's what I'm working on right now. In that letterbox cache that we just found, we'll check off a big mark for me for a new difficulty over terrain combination. Yeah, geocaching in Vermont was beautiful. Well, I mean, even though we're in an urban area, I still like caching out here. When you're not on trails and you're just out on the roads and you have buildings kind of as your waypoints, it's a little bit easier to navigate, I think, to urban geocaches. We're kind of getting into the season where there are leaves on the trails, and up in the Northeast there's snow on the trails, so it's harder to get to those caches. So it looks like we'll be doing a fair amount of urban caching for the winter. Any bear encounters? I've had bear encounters here in Virginia and out in Wyoming, but none here in DC. But speaking of, this is the cache that we're going to. Can you see? It's like some kind of panda bear statue. So we're looking for a magnetic nano in a typical urban setting. Do I carry bear spray? In DC? No, I do not. It seems a little excessive, but I haven't carried bear spray. We just carry like bells around Wyoming, or just something you can make a lot of noise, like make your presence heard. You don't want to sneak up on a bear. Yeah, so What do you guys think? Should we at least go over to where this bear statue is and try and get the information off of it to get the coordinates? I also don't have a Garmin tracker or a GPS tracker on me, so I would have to somehow navigate to the coordinates. I wonder if does anyone know if there are coordinate apps? Because you can't type in just blank regular coordinates into the geocaching app. That would be cool if they integrated that feature. Yeah, phone has a GPS, but what I need is to be able to type in the actual coordinates. I think actually the Google Maps app, let me think about this. I think not Apple Maps, but the Google Maps app will allow you to type in coordinates and go to that location. I know I've tried it on Apple Maps and it doesn't work, so let's see if Google Maps could help us out. Yeah, so if Google Maps can help us out, then that would actually make it pretty easy for us to get to where we need to go. How's the stream looking compared to before? Is it better? Everybody has audio? No stream RIP. So this is interesting. This cache is a multi. Stream is good. Awesome. Thank you, Bloody Valley. This cache is a multi, which usually means there are 2 or more caches as part of a series. But I'm trying to think about this. This cache looks like you only go to one location at the listed coordinates, get the information off of this statue, input the numbers that you pull from this statue into one set of coordinates. So you're only going to 2 locations and there's only one cache to be found. It's a micro-magnetic, I believe. So we can at least go get the numbers off of the bear. We'll see if Google Maps comes through for us. Now, I've been geocaching since I was 13. 11 years. No, didn't have a phone when I was 13. So what I did was it was a really big deal. My parents gifted me a Garmin GPS tracker, and I would input the coordinates from the website into the tracker before I set out on my venture with them, because I was 13, couldn't drive, couldn't hike alone. And then what you used to do was print off the cache description and bring along like an 8.5 by 11 piece of printer paper with the cache description from the website. Now having all of the functionality on your phone makes everything so much easier. Groundspeak has done a really good job of integrating all of the functions for geocaching that you could want. Reggae Steve, how's it going? I hear John call you Beast. I don't know. What do you prefer? Beast or Reggae Steve? We are here in Virginia. We found this awesome letterbox hybrid that we looked for 3 hours yesterday, and now we're possibly going to go find a multicache if Google Maps comes through for us. Fondest memory of geocaching? That's a great question. I'm gonna do some Q&A. I'll get my phone plugged into the external battery here. Fondest memory, my uncle was the one who got me and my cousins into geocaching, and some of them still do, including me. Beneficent, yeah, we found it. We found it really quickly, actually. I did not expect to find it that quickly. The 6 trees in the Parthenon alluded to a sign, and the violets were actually painted violets as part of a man-made beautified park. It was kind of cool, and then we reached under the bench, and there was a little magnetic micro cache. It was a little camo. It was a big hype moment on stream. Really good self-esteem day for the stream. So fondest memory of caching. So my uncle got us all into it, and then he took us out, and we hit up 4 states in one day on one road trip during a family reunion, and that was really cool. We drove from Maine to somewhere in western Massachusetts where it kind of hits the borders of both New Hampshire and Vermont. So that was a really fun day just because we all got to do it together. Yeah, I'll go, if someone wants to go, I'll clip the VOD later, just of finding the cache. It kind of all came together and made sense when we were in this park and we saw the sign with this Parthenon symbol above 6 trees on a sign, and then we're walking around and it's like there are real violets, but then there are violet flowers that are painted the color of violet on this concrete area, and there was a bench right across from it, so it all made sense. All the hard work yesterday, well, it kind of paid off, I guess. Does my uncle still do it? Occasionally. Yeah, he sometimes still does it. Like, there's one cousin and I who are still really into it, really active. Like, I hid my own cache in September, and they all went and visited and came and found it, so that was pretty cool. So I think we should, batteries plugged in. Let's go at the very least. I don't know for how long the battery's gonna hold out, but we'll at the very least go check out this panda and try and get this panda statue. Not the real panda at the National Zoo, although that's pretty close to us. We'll go try and get the information off of this sculpture and then see if we can possibly plug coordinates into Google Maps and see if it will take us there. I really thought that it would take us longer this morning to go find the letterbox because we put in about 3 hours looking for it yesterday, so I'm sort of winging it. So hang in there with me, you guys. Also, I don't have my typical stream setup because everything got soaked yesterday. Alright, so let's rock and roll. So we replaced that cache, which is good. You guys can see the area where it was. Have I traveled overseas and geocached there? Yes, I have. I've traveled overseas a lot. Haven't necessarily geocached in all those places, but there were some virtual caches logged in the UK and Dublin when I was there last winter.
Later, guys.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Have I ever been to New Zealand? Yes. I was there. When was I there? I don't know why I'm asking you guys. I was there in 2012, 11. I went to Auckland and Rotorua. And I tied that in with a trip to Sydney, Australia, and I went to Fiji, and I went to Hawaii. Okay, we're just waiting to cross. Practicing street smarts. Yeah, Rotorua was beautiful. It was among the more unique places I've traveled to. I really liked it. They had really good food because they were, I can't remember the word for it. Is it hangar? Where it's cooked underground in boxes using because it's a geothermal hotspot, using the hotspot to cook the food. It was really yummy. This is way busier on a Sunday than I would have expected. There are a lot of muggles out. So only because we're walking up on a restaurant here, there are going to probably be a lot of muggles. I'll just try and minimize the conspicuous nature of me streaming and talking to the phone. So again, we're gonna walk up and look for some specific numbers and facts listed on this bear statue sculpture thing. If it's still there, I hope it's still there. We found another bear like this in another part of town on a different stream. It's part of a 2004 citywide art exhibit. 2004 was a while ago. So many muggles, you guys. It's gonna be difficult. Okay, I found it. So, look at this. So we're looking at the bear, and the information we need is how many bridges are on the panda statue. Well, I count at least one. Let's get all the information we need first and then start counting. We need the list of artists, number of crescent moons in the panda, Molly and Rory, how's it going? So, quick recap on what we're doing. Hi guys. So, we are in a way too highly populated area to be doing this, but we're looking at this statue that's part of a 2004 art exhibit throughout the city and pulling certain numbers off of it that are going to help us create the coordinates for where the cache is that we need to be at. So I'm just looking through on my phone the facts we need to pull off, and then we will probably go to a more quiet area and pull all these coordinates together and hopefully navigate to the next cache. At the very least, we can get the information from it, whether or not we navigate to the cache today. So I see one bridge. They said there was a list of, one bridge. Lists of artists on the paw, perhaps, they said. Let's see. No artists on the paw. There's a list of artists on one of the paws, it says, though. Okay, here we go. They said number of letters in the last name of the first artist listed. 3. It's max. So far we know it's 1, 3. Number of crescent moons on the panda multiplied by 3 and add 1. So there's 1 on the ear. And there are just some constellations. So I'm going to go with 1. Multiply times 3 and add 1, so 4. So we know so far we're looking for 1, 3, 4. And these will be plugged into a larger set of coordinates later. And there's a date listed on one of the paws. So there was a date down here. Could it be this one? 5/26/15? Oh, you're right. Count the number of letters in the last name of the first artist. Sorry about that, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9. 1 bridge, 9 for the letters. Number of crescent moons is 1. Multiplied times 3 is 3 plus 1, and then 4. So 194. There's a date listed on one of the paws. That's what we're looking at now. First digit in the date, 5. So 1, 9, 4, 5, and I'm going to go plug those into some coordinates. Not here, though, because there are so many people walking by. Let's go kind of back to where we were. 1, 9, 4, 5. I'm going to rely on you guys to help me out with that. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thanks for bringing in the chat, Bloody Valley. They've literally written, I've just read the rest of the cache description, which I probably should have done before. They said there are a lot of different angles to view the bear. Sorry, there's a big truck going by. So they said there are a lot of angles to view the bear. No need to look conspicuous, while looking for it. Meanwhile, I'm squatting down in front of this statue, looking. I don't believe them. There was no way to get those numbers off of the paw without squatting down in front of it. Anyway, so yeah, we're navigating back to that bench, but where that last cache was, that's kind of secluded area, and I'll plug the numbers into the coordinates that we have, and then we'll navigate to the next cache. This is a little bit of a colder walk than I remember, but I can't complain after yesterday. It was 3 hours in the pouring rain, but that's okay because, I think it got us pretty close to the letterbox cache that we ended up finding anyway. Couldn't leave any stone unturned. So 1945, is that what we said? find someone trying to get the same cache as me. Never had that happen, but all right, we're back here where we started. What happened on stream a couple weeks ago was I was geocaching and in an urban area, and someone just walked up and they were like, "Are you geocaching?" I said, "Yeah." "Are you looking for the same cache?" And they go, "No, we know about geocaching." And they were asking, was it a small? And they actually helped me find the cache. That was pretty cool. So we said, let me go 1945. Great. Hopefully these are the right coordinates. I kind of gave a cursory glance looking for those moons and bridges, but no, we'll find it. So I'm plugging these into the coordinates that were given. 945. They have to be in a very specific order. Sorry, this part won't be very exciting for you guys because I can't show you my phone screen. I've tried it before. It just looks pretty wonky. But my hope is that Google Maps will navigate us to the coordinates because I don't have a GPS tracker with me. I have my phone's GPS, but it won't accept coordinates. Yeah. All right, drum roll, please. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, that worked. Hey, that's pretty cool. Okay. So how far away is it from where we are? It's not far at all. So it's actually going to be down a side street near from where we just came. So in that direction. Let's think about this. Do I know this exact location? Can I do this without the coordinates? Perhaps. So we are... Wow, I cannot believe how well this worked out for us. We're already on the main street we need to be on, and we need to just sort of take a left up a side street. And supposedly, I think this is supposed to be a magnetic nano cache or micro cache. They changed the terminology. It used to be nano, and now it's micro. And the hint is slide all the way down to the end of the bench near the wall. You should be able to feel it while sitting on the bench. So we kind of just experienced this with the letterbox cache, sitting on a bench and just reaching underneath the bench to sort of feel what wiggles. All right, let's do this. Memorizing the directions really quickly one last time. Yeah, this is one block up from where we are. This worked out remarkably well. All in all, this is a successful day of caching. Okay, show you guys the street again. Okay. So this will probably be my last cache for the stream today, only because I've now found all the caches within walking distance of where we are, which is great. It just means that future streams will have to go a little bit farther out to hit up a couple of caches. But I have renewed faith in our ability to do those more difficult mystery caches too, which would be pretty cool. With a mystery cache, you have to solve some kind of riddle, similar to what we did for the letterbox cache, but also plugging in the coordinates to find the location of the cache, which is what we're doing now for this multi-cache. So it's all kind of building up to something. So my hope is to be caching for as long as the weather will allow. Because I'm in the mid-Atlantic area, there isn't any snow on the ground. It's just kind of a little bit blustery, windy, and cold. So we're gonna look for some benches after we take a left up here. We could stop off and get an $18 haircut. That is also an option. They mentioned a wall too, so look for a bench by a wall. I see a low wall. There's a bench. Okay. So one of these benches, and there are a lot of muggles around, so we've got to play it cool. Let's look at the hint again. End of the bench near the wall. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll look at the coordinates again and see. Let's try this bench. They're both surrounded by the wall, so what was that? Okay. So we're just here casually just feeling underneath this wrought iron part of the bench that holds it up. There are 4 of these between the 2 benches, so I can search each of them. Looks like there aren't a lot of people around, which works out well for me. So we're probably looking for one of these magnetic micro caches again. People are coming. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Just sort of getting a profile view, see if there's anything that I can see from here without having to feel around. Okay. And people just pulled up to park. This is a really busy day. I'm really surprised. Okay, let's move over to the other bench. I'm gonna read this hint again. I'll try this last side of the bench. I feel like we're in the right place. Well, I know we're in the right place coordinates wise, but I think just where I'm looking on the bench is maybe not correct. So both of these benches are encased in the wall. So when they say, reach over the bench by the wall, I'm not too clear on what they're talking about. Slide all the way down to the end of the bench near the wall. Okay. Well, you should be able to feel it while sitting on the bench. Okay, so that's good to know. Ooh, there's a penny. That's not what we're looking for, but nice added bonus. So it could also, I've been thinking it's on the sides of the bench nearest the wall, but it could also be underneath. So there are kind of a lot of places it could be. going to use the phone that I'm streaming with the selfie stick to get an angle under the bench. So you guys let me know if you see anything. I didn't see anything. Let me know in the chat if you guys saw something. I'll try this slat over here. Like, I'll just keep putting it under the metal parts of the bench, and I'll try this on both benches. We'll see what comes up. It kind of looked like something, but it's not. I'm gonna try it again. Sorry, there are people walking by, so it's a little bit conspicuous. Let's try the other bench.
Do I remind you of what's his name?
One more spot on this bench to try. Nope. Okay. All the way down to the end of the bench, near the wall. Yeah, that's what we've done. Let's try the other one. So we know it's going to be on one of these two sides. I just keep seeing those bolts in the metal part. Sort of feeling around. It's just all like rainwater and dirt for the most part under there. Okay, let's try. I'm gonna actually hang out here. There are a lot of people walking by, so this is one of the downsides to urban caching. Is the stream still looking good? Can you guys just give me any sign in the chat? Let me know that it's still working. I want to make sure I didn't lose you guys again. All good? Thanks, Sinfire. Appreciate that. Okay. Could it be attached to the wall? That's a good question. Oh, it could be, right? Okay, I'm feeling up underneath. Underneath the wall. Oh, it's unpleasant. It's like pool dirt and rainwater. Okay. Because it says slide all the way down to the end of the bench near the wall. Should be able to feel it while sitting on the bench. So I'm just inclined to think, because it's a micro, that it could be like a metal magnetic one. But I guess it could be attached to the wall too. Alright, let's try it over here. I'm gonna put the camera under the bench again. Okay. No luck. We're not giving up on it though. This kind of makes sense. I mean, the clue makes sense, the hint makes sense, coordinates make sense. And we worked for those coordinates. Gosh darn it. You guys. Lord, give me strength. I'm on the wrong side of the road. I got so excited by seeing these benches in the walls that I blew off the coordinates. I just went back and checked. So I just saw there's a bench over there. Also near a wall. There's no excuse. Alright. Let's go across the street. Alright. So there are two benches up here. This is actually where the coordinates lead us. And they say, slide down into the bench near the wall. So I'm thinking it's the tall wall that we're looking at. Will it jump out at me if I just sort of look from this angle? No, because it's probably underneath. Okay. We'll do it again. You guys, there's no excuse. Okay. I stand alone. What city am I in? I'm in Northern Virginia. We just found earlier on stream the Watergate geocache. So I'm not feeling anything over here. This is a micro cache that we're looking for now that we actually pulled together the coordinates based off solving some, they're not really puzzles, sort of doing some observational math. That's how I'll put it. And input those into a series of coordinates and got the full coordinates, and now we're here looking for this micro based off of the hint to slide all the way down on a bench nearest a wall, a couple walls around. Should be able to reach down under the bench and feel the micro cache. So I think it's going to be a magnetic cache based off of past experience, but someone in chat also recommended that it could be attached to the wall. So, let's see. Sorry about the mild vertigo. I'm gonna stick the phone under the bench again. See if I can get a better vantage point. Does that look like something? Did that look like something to you guys too? Like different from like the regular screws that are under there? I'm gonna stick it in again. Nope. Alright. Looks like the light was playing with my eyes. So let's look at some. I found it. Okay, are you guys ready? Can you see it? Down there? With the water droplets on it, it's a black color. It blends in with the bench perfectly. There it is. Look how tiny that is. So it wasn't under the bench at all. It was on the side. Cool. I'm pretty happy with this find rate today. So here it is. So this location is not far at all from where the log is inside. So we were looking for the statue on which the numbers were located, which we used to create the coordinates to find this cache. It's 1 block up that way, so really quick. So the log is balled up in the lid. If you join my Discord, and anyone's welcome to join the Discord, you'll see Captain Howie place this like PSA about the log should always be tucked inside the lid. So yeah, we're in an urban area. We pulled together the coordinates ourselves. Thanks you guys in chat who helped me out with your observations. Navigated to this coordinate location. Felt around a couple of benches. Way too many benches. It shouldn't have been that difficult. That was partly my bad. Sorry you guys for... I saw benches and I got excited, so I just started like feeling around all the benches, and had I looked at the coordinates more closely, I would have known that it was over here. So this is inside the cache. There's nothing really. It's about 1 centimeter in diameter and 1 centimeter in height. Pretty small. And this is the lid. I really like these kinds. They're really great for urban areas, because just the average person walking by here wouldn't know to look for this cache. It's the same color as the bench metal. So this is the log in here. I've never seen this before. They've taped the log shut. That's kind of strange. I don't know why you'd do that. Maybe so it just holds together a little bit better. Not a lot of people have found it. I'm going to be the 9th person to sign. Awesome. It's a pretty good feeling. The trick to these tiny little micro logs is having to ball them up so that they can fit in that tiny, tiny little cache container. It's kind of a difficult day of caching. as far as the muggles go, there were a lot of muggles out, which made it difficult to like read the statue when we were at the ARPANET cache looking for that, which unfortunately we didn't find. I think it's been muggled again. It's been muggled a couple of times in the last couple of years. Yeah, it's difficult to get dirty, get on your hands and knees looking for a cache when there are people around. And I will say that having the selfie stick obviously draws a little more attention than normal caching would, so I think this will probably be my last cache for the day. Started at 11 this morning. I know the uptime says I've only been going for an hour, but that's because had a stream RIP earlier. Real bummer. But yeah, so I usually stream on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. Yeah. I've been caching for 11 years, but just started my stream a month ago. So this guy's trying to park a Tesla. It's going horribly. It's like they're trying to dock it against the curb. It's so quiet. So you can see how tiny I'm trying to ball up this log. If you leave any gaps or extra spaces, the log won't screw back together. So yeah, I'm definitely, thanks to Demas and Gunter 33, I'm gonna go buy myself a latte. My fingers are probably just as cold as they were yesterday, but the good thing is none of my gear is damp. Everything from yesterday is still trying to dry off. I don't know if I balled this up tightly enough. See, I guess it's kind of a good idea to keep it like from getting unfurled. They have a tiny little piece of tape here to just sort of keep it adhering so it doesn't unfurl once you kind of like this. It gets sealed up and you don't have to like pinch it really tight. So we're going to put it back in here. This is the magnet on the end. This is the lid. So we're going to put the log in the lid. So for the next person, they don't have to try and jam the lid and the body of the micro cache together. Oh, do you see how it tries to like squish in there? It is kind of a lot of paper for this tiny little log. And we're just kind of shoving it in there. Yeah, that's gonna be tough to get out for the next person. I feel bad. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna replace it exactly where we found it. Hopefully it doesn't get muggled. Okay, I need to put some gloves on. I'm cold. Can't tell if I'm getting rained on or if just the wind is blowing excess rain from yesterday off of the trees. So yeah, I made a joke earlier about going to go buy a latte, but like because I'm streaming IRL, obviously there's like a little bit of like camera shakiness and stuff. So all of the bits and donations go toward better equipment for the stream to make it more enjoyable for you guys and produce better content. Yeah, so I really appreciate the donations and the subs and the support because that's what makes the stream like possible. I'd be out here geocaching either way, but you guys following and being active in chat and subbing and donations and bits and all that, I super duper appreciate it because Twitch is an awesome community and I want to keep doing this. So thanks to all of you for today. There was like huge payoff being able to find that letterbox hybrid, but then also being able to find that multicache. Usually I think multicaches are more scavenger hunt-esque. They have a lot more caches in a series, but today it was just go to one location and then get the one cache, so it was only 2 locations. Hey Demas, thanks. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm gonna start winding down. I can do Q&A sort of on my walk back. Super casual if there are any questions about caching. For those of you who... What? Is that like a hot chocolate, like a coffee mug? I didn't know that emote existed. That's awesome. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, my emote is a compass. I don't have a compass out here with me, but I have the virtual compass. Okay, so let's rock and roll. Yeah, that was super rewarding. I really liked, the trickiness of that letterbox hybrid, but also creating our own coordinates based off of our observational map. Okay. Foliage in a cup. This is weird. I use a third-party streaming service, and I really like it, but the downside is I can't always see the emotes. There are some emotes that I can see, so the coffee or hot cocoa mug, but like all I can see in your last message is it says Santa mug, so I can't see it, but I'll go back and look in the chat when I watch the VOD. So yeah, by finding that letterbox hybrid, that's one more cache that I can tick off of my way to 81 or fizzy grid, trying to find every combination of distance over terrain. There are 81 different combinations, 9 possibilities for difficulty rating, 9 possibilities for terrain rating. So if you look at the grid, you can look at this through either the geocaching.com website or the Project GC, which is like a third party that you have to authorize to access your geocaching account. They'll run a bunch of stats for you. Really cute dog. And part of what Project GC will do is say, for me, I want to find all the different difficulty over terrain ratings. They'll tell you where in your area, if you give them your zip code or your home coordinates, where in your area you can find the ones that you're missing to complete your challenge. So I really like that. Place totally different tomorrow morning. Crazy car jams. Oh yeah. Yeah, DC traffic is nuts. It's not like LA or Dallas.
Yeah, so like when I
but it's between like 7:30 and 9, you can't get anywhere reliably in a short period of time. But public transportation is really good here, I think. So it's pretty reliable to get around. So I also wonder if any of the other caches. Well, let's see. Found the letterbox hybrid. Didn't find the ARPANET. We think possibly got muggled. Showed you guys a cache I found a couple months ago that previously I thought was really difficult. Now feels laughably easy. And then that multicache with the coordinates that we had to plug in from the bear statue. So all in all, 2 caches found. 3 hours of looking for that letterbox yesterday. The payoff is worth it though. It's awesome. Thanks you guys for sticking with it.
Simmons College.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the payoff of those 2, I'll see if the letterbox will help me complete that fizzy grid, but I don't know if the one that we just found, the multicache, will. I'll have to look into it and I'll let you guys know in the Discord. Yeah, I don't know what that guy's deal was. Urban caching. You meet all kinds of fun folks out here. Alright, I'm gonna wind down the stream. But thanks you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Getting a little bit cold. But yeah, so feel free to join the Discord. That's sort of where we talk about more geocaching stuff or stuff from the stream. Another Tesla. A lot of Teslas out here today. Yeah. Will do. My plan is to stream Saturday and Sunday again at 11 a.m. Eastern. If that changes though, I'll post it on Twitter or the Discord. When I first started my stream, it was kind of an unreliable stream schedule, but weekend mornings sort of work out best for me, so it also means fewer muggles out usually. I don't know what was the deal today. There were a lot more muggles than there are out usually at this hour. Yeah, have a great week yourself. All right. So winding down the stream here, I'll probably end it here, but yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday. Have an awesome week.